welcome back to another episode here with the guys on Fucking Listen.
Fucking
It is your host, A-Dub. I'm with my co-host.
Startron or Andrew.
You know what I mean? We coming at y'all with another episode here. See, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a warning right now. So don't shoot us. You know what I mean? We going to stay our opinions and how we feel about on this topic. And I'm just telling you right now, this is a warning to you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stick with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let us get it
listen.
out. Let us get it out.
Let us cook and hear us out. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of sides to the story of what we finna bring up right now.
Yeah.
And I know it's only the second episode.
Yeah.
But let's cook. You know what I mean? You think they ready for this?
Yeah, we getting canceled.
Yeah.
You know how like TV shows have like that first pilot episode to test to see if they're gonna make it through, get a full season? Yeah, that's us today.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna be able to drop no more after this one.
Hell no.
All right, let's go ahead and tell them the topic so they know how deep this is and how crazy we finna get today.
For sure.
Today we are talking about forcing kids into the world where both sides isn't ready. Now look. I understand. You know what I mean? It's two males talking about a topic that's very sensitive, especially to women. I understand. But we got to give you guys the male perspective because we feel like that a lot of people don't think of or ignore this side of it.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and dive into it. Me personally, in this world that we talk about that's introduced all the time, there's two sides to the story. Mom wants to keep the baby. Dad doesn't want the baby.
Yeah.
Dad wants to keep the baby. Mom doesn't want the baby. So we are intertwined where kids are forced into coming into this world when mom wants the baby and the dad doesn't because, well, hey, respect to you. Your body, your choice. We already know. We're not going against the grain. We're not going against the grain on that one.
Promise you. You know what I'm saying? For sure. That's all on you. What you want to do is what you want to do.
You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of these kids in this world, especially like where I'm from, be growing up in a single parent household. You know what I mean? Or their grandparents' household. You know what I mean? Because people deciding to bring kids into the world where the household is not ready for a kid to be involved into it. You know what I mean? And we not promoting anything like what they call it, abortion or anything like that. We're not promoting that. We're not telling people to go ahead and end it and yada. We just giving our opinions and we showing y'all the thought process of the third perspective.
Yeah.
That people don't really think about.
We're so getting canceled from this.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. We already started.
Yeah, I know, but like screaming out loud is like
we already started. Look, I'm like, I don't think they ready for this one. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
I don't think they ready for this one. So what I really want to talk about is a situation where woman wants baby and God doesn't want the baby. Most of the time it turns into a situation where either the guy tries and then leaves you with the baby on your own, or he doesn't try at all, and then he's a deadbeat off the rip. I want to open up the talks about like what a baby does to a man as well. You know what I mean? Because men, we don't speak up and we don't talk a lot about what it means to have a child and what it does to us. We keep it inside or we talk amongst each other. And this is why a woman thinks that automatically, if you aren't there for the baby, you're a deadbeat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and dive into it.
Go crazy.
So first and foremost, to start from all the way from the beginning, let's go ahead and talk about, the situation where baby is first introduced. You know, we both did the deed. We both signed. You know what I mean? We both do the risk when we got in here. You know what I mean?
You could have pulled
And
out, but whatever.
you know, sometimes that's another topic for another day. But you know what I mean? It was just the baby just started to come about. So you had a conversation between the two, hopefully. When you first find out and things like that, and she tells you she has the kid. You know what I mean? It's cooking up in her stomach. She doesn't know what to do. Um, and let's say in this scenario, the guy doesn't want the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, we're not going against the grain. You do what you want. You know what I mean? Your body, your choice. But
As
let's
long
give
as
the men
oh,
their choice as
yeah,
well. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I don't promote, I don't accept, and I don't, you know, want to just promote like guys leaving their kid.
yeah,
But what I want people to understand is the mental understanding of a man in that situation. You're telling him he has a kid that he does not want. Some men step up to the plate. Some men take care of their kids, but the ones that they don't, I see what I want to say is don't paint them just as bad, but really ask them like why, like what's the
yeah.
case? Because what most people don't know is like men go through mental trauma, emotional trauma all the time, and we don't
Let's
speak
just
up
show.
on it. We
Yeah,
acknowledge it, but nobody speaks up on it.
yeah,
And 99% of our trauma comes from when we was kids.
yeah,
So we seen what our parents did
yeah,
to each other. We seen what our parents did to us and our siblings. And maybe they so mentally fucked up they don't want to bring a kid in and have to go through that.
yeah. Which is fair.
Know what I'm
That's
saying?
the thing is like you bring it up. They don't ever think about that. They would just kind of like push it to the side. Oh, he's a man. He alright. You know what I mean? Like nah. We do deal with a lot of shit that we keep to ourselves, and shit like that is something we're gonna keep to ourselves unless it needs to be spoken on. Like in that situation where she brings up, "Oh, we're gonna have a kid," then probably that's when a man will probably express that type of shit and be like, "Look, I don't. Here's my reasons why." But you still got the people who don't. Like he'll still end up keeping it to himself. He's just gonna be like, "Oh, well, nah." I mean, so for the dudes in those situations, I would say speak up if you're not the ones that speak up, because you need to let it be known and not just keeping it to yourself, because you're not arguing a case. You're just saying no. Like if you bring an argument to it, maybe the conversation's gonna go differently. Maybe y'all both gotta realize and see whether you're actually prepared for it or not. No one's ever actually prepared to have a kid. Even if you say, "Oh yeah, we're trying."
Facts.
Okay, you can try, you can have the kid, but you're not ready to be a parent.
Facts. You know what I mean? It's just give them the space and the platform, please. Because it's too many women out here who's out here raising babies
Yeah.
on their own. Now look, I'm not saying it's anybody's fault in that case. Like I said, y'all both got in that bed, y'all both made the decision to do what y'all did. Y'all created life together. This is a two-way street. But where the decision comes in, to me personally, is when one side says they don't want it with the other side. Right? Let's go ahead and dive into that.
Okay.
Woman says she doesn't want it and guy wants it, there's no problem. There's no issue. It gets handled. Woman wants it, but guy says he doesn't want it. Now we got an issue.
Yeah.
Now there's a problem. So you're telling me that, now hear me out. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is from a man's perspective. So you're telling me that a woman's mental and emotional space is more prioritized than a man's mental and emotional space when it comes to their child. Oh, I'm just asking.
You can
I'm
get.
just, I'm
You can.
just, I'm just asking. I
No,
am a
for sure.
male.
Bringing up a
I am a
topic of
male.
conversation that's not
You know
really
what I mean?
spoken up on.
These are the type of things that we need to sit here and think about. Like, listen to what I'm saying. When it comes to a kid, if a woman wants it, she gets to keep it. if the male wants his baby into this world and the woman does not, he has no say so. It's no. Men, we cry. Let's cut it. We cry. You know what I mean? We go through sadness, we go through emotional trauma all the time.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean? So the same way that, it's always talked about how women, not the same way, take it back. But in the instance where women talk about when they lose their child, when they give them up and stuff like that, us males go through something of the sorts. I won't say same. I won't say same because, like I said, I'm a male. Um, I don't really know. These spaces ain't really talked about around me for women.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say we go through some hardships too. You know what I mean? So we gonna go through life knowing that recreating life with a certain person, and they decide to take that life away from me before I even had a chance to raise that life. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's really messed up. Like this topic is really messed up. Like it's completely one sided. You know what I
It
mean?
sounds bad when you say it out loud because if it was the other way around, it would be a whole thing. Excuse me, just saying. Like realistically, like if you flip the script and put it where as a man you had every right to say yes and no, and then the female had really no say so, it'd be a whole thing. But
Right.
since it is her body, it obviously makes sense that you have full rights to do whatever you want. No one's gonna take that away from you. No one's trying to take that. Well, they kind of are, but like we're saying, do what you want. You know what I mean? Do what you want. But just taking into account with how the men feel about the situation, if it's someone that you can't see yourself actually having a kid with, that's one thing. But like
Mm-hmm.
y'all together and you can see like you're in a relationship, not even just fucking around, but like if you're in a relationship, then it's a little different. Fucking around I can understand because like you just fucking. You don't really know if you actually want to be with this person type shit. Some people don't really get that emotion attachment. Some people do. So it just kind of depends on the situation. But if you're in a relationship situation, you just, to me, you have to figure it out. Like, have a conversation, hear both sides, listen to him, listen to her, like, talk it out before any decision is made. And understand where both people are coming from and their perspectives and how he feels and how she feels. Like, obviously, as the person actually giving birth, you feel differently than the person who's not. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like a lot of females don't want to get pregnant because of the things that can happen during pregnancy or after, which is completely understandable.
For sure.
And as a man, we don't really fully get that because we're not the ones doing it. We don't know the
Mm-hmm.
risks.
Mm-hmm.
So just bear with us in the conversation of like, hey, he wants it and you don't because there's probably a reason. Maybe he wants to do better than what his father did. You don't know. We all hold shit inside and have reasons for things that you're never gonna know unless we tell you.
And that's why these conversations need to be had. You know what I mean? Instead of just like, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Which is 99% of how it goes. And then the male just sits there and have to be like, or like, okay.
Yeah. You
You
just
know what I
gotta take that
mean?
L sometimes.
You know what I mean? We just taught to take stuff on the chin and
Yeah.
roll with what we got. You know what I'm saying? So just want to introduce that, talk about that. There was another thing. Oh, let's talk about after we had this conversation in the perspective of woman wants child and man does not.
Mm-hmm.
We had the conversation. She says she's keeping it. There's nothing you could do to stop her from
Right.
giving birth to this baby, right? And I want to call it, off the dome. We don't call this tricky dice.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This ain't no regular dice.
Okay.
You know, this is some tricky dice. You know what I mean? You got 1, 3, 5, a dead face,
Uh
a
huh.
money bag on
Uh
one
huh.
side. Like, it's all different type of dice on there.
Yeah.
The tricky dice comes out after you had a conversation. Mom wants to keep it. Dad does not. That's when the tricky dice comes out, the bag. So
Mm-hmm.
now, women, this is what I want to say to you guys from the male perspective. This is where it gets tricky for you guys. Because you guys are betting whether or not that this father is going to be around when you had his kid after he already told you he did not want the kid. I'm
Yeah.
going to repeat that. After he already told you multiple times in an
He's
argument, and I know y'all had this argument for days,
for sure.
weeks
For
throughout your
sure.
pregnancy, that he did not want this kid. You know what I mean? Think about it. I don't want to say it, but you're forcing the kid upon somebody that does not want him in this world.
Yeah.
This tricky dice comes out into play at that point that maybe when he see this kid, he gonna fall in love with it. He gonna want to be a father. He gonna want to be around.
Yeah, this ain't a fucking movie.
You know what I mean? This is reality. I'm just giving
Yeah.
you reality standpoints right
Yeah.
now. You're betting on
A 1 in a million shot.
whether
No,
or not he wants to stay around.
yeah. You throw like
For
a fucking
one.
Hail Mary pass with that one. Like, realistically, like, don't get me wrong, that could happen. You know, it's possible, but
Oh yeah.
it's a slim chance.
Depending on how they was brought up, depending on what they saw growing up,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the type of person that they want to be.
Yeah.
You might hit.
Maybe.
You might hit.
Maybe.
But then you got the scenarios where he's not there. He already told you he didn't want to be there, so now he's not there.
Yep. He going to get the milk early. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Okay.
gone.
All right. All right. You bullshit. You you you, all right. All right. He wanna play. He wanna play. Look, he already going to get the milk early. You know what I mean? He already going to get the milk early. And then you got cases where some guys try, and then after they attempted and tried for whatever how long they feel like they tried enough, they leave. Those are 3 cases that I could think of that could happen.
And I think you also have the person who really would leave, but still handle business money wise. Like he gonna give you the money, but he's not in the
Right,
child's life at all. So
right,
you got that too. Like
right.
he knows his responsibility as a man, not necessarily as a father, but as a man. Because if he was a father, he'd be there. But as a
Mm-hmm.
man, he knows where he fucked up and he got to take care of it. So he gonna give you that child support, but that's it. You're not getting much else out of that.
Tricky dice.
Jerky dice.
Those are already 4 sides of the dice
Yeah.
that we could think of off the
Yeah.
top of our heads. And only one of those sides was the good option.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like as you said, bro, you're throwing a Hail Mary. Like I understand, you know what I mean? We all for it, man. Let's bring these babies into this world. We gonna love
Sure.
them.
I want kids.
But
You know what I mean?
where we introducing this conversation for men and women with this mindset of I'm still gonna have this kid, whether or not my partner wants it or not, you also have to sit there. I want to say accept, but what I really want you to do is acknowledge there's a good chance you're gonna raise this baby on your own.
Yeah. You can't force no one to have the kid that in their mind for shit show they don't want it.
You know what I mean? Like you could do all the fighting, bring them to court, child support. Like Andrew said, I'm gonna give you the bread, but you going about your business. I'm not gonna be a family with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not. My trauma is so built up, and I'm so fucked up to the point where I don't want to pass it on to this kid, so I'm not even gonna be around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and acknowledge that. You know what I mean? To ladies, acknowledge if you do, the cake start cooking in the oven, and you tell the guy, and you want to keep it, and he doesn't want to be a father. Right there, immediately after those couple conversations, if you still want to go about it, I'm gonna need you to acknowledge that you're gonna probably be a single mother.
Yeah. And I get where you can have anger towards him, but he told you what he was about. He
Yeah,
gave you ahead of time conversation and told you he wasn't gonna be there.
right.
You
But
can call him a deadbeat if you want, but he told you he wasn't gonna be there.
that's where they begin to mix up at. You know what I mean? Them and us as men as
For
well.
sure.
But like I said, there be situations where men want to keep the kid as well, and the woman doesn't. That's where the emotional standpoint come into play. Like, they're so far gone, they can't even believe that at some point this person won't change their minds.
Yeah, that's not gonna
and
happen.
Want to be there.
That's not gonna
You
happen.
know
I
what
mean, maybe.
Maybe, like I said, the kid, he might see the kid, fall in love, or he
Sure,
might
everybody
go
different.
through the process with you for 9 months, and he like,
Yeah,
yeah, I could do
yeah.
this. You know what I mean? But I feel like that's a gamble. It's a part of the trick dice
Or the
that
trick
you
dice.
playing into.
Mm-hmm.
If both of y'all not saying yes off the rip, trick dice is coming out immediately.
Oh, for sure.
At that point, you're playing the trick dice.
Yeah.
You're
You
playing
gamble.
the odds game at this point.
Yeah, you
And
gamble.
it all comes down to what they're going through in life,
Mm-hmm.
what they've been through in life, and
Mm-hmm.
what they see in the future of their life.
Mm-hmm.
The trick dice is out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you need to acknowledge that, interpret it however you need to interpret it, and accept it. And if you want to roll that motherfucker, roll that motherfucker. You know what I mean? But
For
me
sure.
personally, I'm always think to what's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To prepare myself
Yeah.
and things like that. But the emotion be playing too hard to it, man. Well, people just can't, they can't fathom, they can't accept that.
Yeah.
Okay, he's saying no right now, but we could be a family later. And that's why I be saying a lot of people be hurt. You know what I mean? When they decide, I'm going to raise this kid on my own. But as they raising that kid on their own, this kid looks like the guy that you like,
Yeah.
you're trying to have a family with. And you realizing that he's not around. Now you sad, you upset. And think about what happens to the kid. Let's talk about that. The kid didn't ask to be brought into his world. The kid then come knocking on your door, was like, all right, go hit this dude, or you go hit this girl, and then when you done, I'm gonna start cooking it now.
Yeah.
It's all around. They didn't ask to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And things happen. You know what I mean? Hey, we human, but we should be trying to put these children in the best possible place that they could be in. You know what I mean? Because they're innocent until they're not.
Yeah.
You feel me? So think about how, I know it's in that moment and it's going to take 9 months for the kid to come and then a couple years for the kid to just start getting into stuff. Like, I get that. But you got to be thinking that far ahead if you want to be a parent. You know what I mean? Like, think about little John. He going to be wondering where his pops at. He going to ask you one day. You know what I mean? And then you going to have to sit there and answer that. You know what I mean? Or just think about little Nene. think about little Nene. Hey, cut it. Think about little Nene.
I'm not calling you kids this shit.
You know what I mean? Think about little Nene, man. She asking where her mom's at. Like, what happened to moms? Like, why moms don't want to love her? Like, you're going to have to answer these tough questions to your kids. And you're already creating, you know what I mean? Shout out to all the single mothers, single fathers out there doing your thing, out here chasing these dreams and stuff, and doing
a lot more work than we are.
You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all. This ain't no, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? Just think about the trauma that you're building for your kids off the standpoint of you deciding, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna play on these tricky dice. You know what I mean? Like me personally, I'm gonna go ahead and dive into a little personal aspect. My people been divorced since I was like 7 or 8. One out of 2. You know what I mean? So I basically been living with my moms all my life. You know what I mean? Pops was definitely still there. Let's not get it twisted. That's my man's. Took care of us all our lives and stuff like that. But there are certain things that I had to go through living with my moms.
Yeah.
Alone, and I'm the oldest boy, so I'm the man of the house. You know, real early. You know, getting older, getting bigger early. So that's some trauma right there. Not allowed to be the kid that I need to be. Then you got the aspect that I look like my father.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So she mad at him for whatever reason they broke up for. And she see me and I look like him. She not trying to. It's not intentional, but it's being brought out on me.
Yeah.
That's another trauma that I'm dealing with because of my parents'
Mm-hmm.
situation. I haven't listed anything that I've done wrong. All I am is a product of a situation where two people did the do,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and one was they was on two different sides of what was going to happen with this kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not saying that my parents wanted me for sure. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know, bro. I was an accident one night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was definitely an
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Or as my mama likes to call it, the miracle. That's cap. That's cap. Nah.
But
Y'all
yeah,
was drunk.
my people intentionally had me, so that's besides the point. But
Yeah.
they still broke up, and that was the trauma that came into it. And I just wanted to introduce that because that's the same type of risk of a trauma that you're gonna bring onto a kid when they come to a broken home already.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I got that trauma when my house broke when I was 7, 8, so I at least got
Yeah.
8 years of just living as a kid in a 2-parent household before my people broke.
And then in that moment, you have to step up too. So like you had to mature a little faster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the trauma that came with it, and had to grow up faster than I should have.
Yeah.
Like that saying where people like they get to like their 20s and they feel like they 40. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the kids that had to grow up a little faster than everybody else. All these people that's
Yeah.
out here partying in their 20s, living their life, having fun. You know what I mean? Those was the people to me that I feel like was allowed to be kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Allowed to
agree
be
with
their
that. Yeah.
age. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I feel like those
But
people didn't have. I'm not saying they didn't have hardships, but it didn't affect them in the same way where they matured. Because to me, that's kid shit. Like honestly, like I'm not it's like if you, I'm not hating on you if you do that, but to me, that's kid shit. Like
mhm.
I never was the type of person like, oh, I'm gonna go do that. I don't. I want money and handle business. You know what I'm saying? Like I never thought of like, oh, let's go out and let's go get fucking stupid. Let's go
Mm,
do stupid shit for shit show. But nothing like that to where that's my goal for the night.
feel me? Always think about the future, and that's from kids that's like that had to
No, went through some
mature.
shit. You know
They,
what I'm
you know what
saying?
I mean? They had to really think about
Yeah.
what was next because you never know what could be next if you don't plan it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was the type of mindset the kids gonna have. It's a good thing, and you know what I mean,
Oh,
good
for
and
sure.
bad for sure. You
Oh,
know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
I
But
prefer to be like this. Don't get me wrong.
you feel me? But ultimately, we just want to hop on here, open up the conversation.
Yeah.
We're not telling you
No, not
anything.
telling you what to do. Do what you
We're
want to
not telling you.
do. Don't cancel us, please. We just started.
We're
Just
not
started.
telling you
Please don't. We do. This is the
anything.
second episode.
We're not telling you what
We
to
need to go
do.
further.
We're just
We're broke.
informing you.
We're trying.
Okay. We're just
We're
informing you.
really trying
You
out
know
here.
what I mean? We're giving you different sides of the spectrum
What's up?
so you can have
We're just
what you
bringing up
need to
uh
have.
outside third person point of view viewing that situation.
Definitely. So y'all heard our thoughts, heard what we had to say on it and everything like that. Just really think about it. Have a conversation with your friends. Talk about it. Reach out to us in our DMs.
Put it in the
Message
comments
us.
too, man.
Put it in the comments, bro. Let us
Like,
know what y'all thinking. You know, share this with y'all people. If y'all think we some goofballs and we lame, share that too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You
go ahead.
share it all.
How was you thinking? Go ahead. Comment
You
it
know what I
all.
mean? But like, these are the type of things that we're gonna bring up, chop it up, just open up you guys' eyes and start the conversation, get it going, being 100% authentic and stuff like that. But that's all I got for you guys. You got anything,
For sure.
Carlos?
I'm good. I'm good. That's pretty much it. Hey, yeah.
Well, appreciate y'all tuning in once again with us on Fucking Listen.
Fucking listen.
You know what I mean? And we're going to keep going up. And we hope that you guys join us on this journey and listen to us a little bit. We'll
Hey,
catch
yeah.
y'all next time.